Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm almost ready.
Are you ready to pick a topic? Go.
For the first time in 10 years, a horror movie is #1 at the box office.
Heck yeah! I just want to say I told you.
I don't think that was loud enough.
Is that what they said for the first time in 10 years?
Yeah.
Who said that?
I was reading it on Variety.
Weird.
So 10 years, the #1 undisputed is The Conjuring. So here's my question. Ready? This is my topic.
Sure.
When's the last time you went to go see a horror movie
Never.
in the movie theater that was good?
Oh, ouch.
It's a good. I mean, I think that's a fair question, right?
That was good.
Yeah. When's the last time that you saw a horror movie in the theater that was good?
Nothing comes to mind. I can remember the last few horror movies I've seen at the theater, but I can't say that any of them are good.
Right. Good. I'm talking about the main thing with the Conjuring. What's happening is that word on the street is progressing that the film is actually a good movie. Right. And this is driving sales over and over, actual repeat views in one weekend. Some people have gone to see it twice in a weekend. So
it's because they can't sleep. What else are you going to do?
Can you even remember? What about AMC, Mike? You like the horror, so why don't you tell us when's the last time for you that happened?
I'm actually trying to remember. The problem is we generally don't go see horror movies because Slinky's not, if we have a choice.
That's not a Slinky.
Yeah,
that's
it's not
a
a
Slinky
Slinky
thing. So I'm just, here's the thing. I was thinking 10 years? So
well,
that
what
means,
was it?
That
what
means,
did it?
No, it just said in 10 years. So I don't know. I was just reading it was just a caption that came through my Zeit.
Well, that means it replaced something, though. Something 10 years ago.
That's true. And I don't know, but I would guess, Slinky, that would put that thing squarely in like the Freddy and Jason in one movie.
10 years?
No, it was probably Blair Witch.
Blair Witch!
Yeah.
I bet it's Blair Witch.
I would think.
Yeah, so Blair Witch. Did we all go see Slinky? Did we go see Blair Witch together?
I don't know. I saw Blair Witch with my folks.
Okay, pause.
Story time.
Yeah, pause. New segment called Slinky Tells Us About Going to See Blair Witch with His Folks.
Well, when it was done,
I can only imagine that was awesome.
My dad my brother and I really wanted to go see it. And somehow or another what happened was we were going out to eat with my parents and we convinced them to just join us for this movie afterwards. And, I don't really remember much about what my mom thought, but there wouldn't be much comedy there anyway. But I do remember that we walked out and my dad just went, "That's stupid."
I remember that for me there was some sort of confusion with Blair Witch because apparently in the storyline there's something about the witch putting people in a corner before she kills them or something.
But your film was bad, right?
Something happened, and that section was missing. And so I don't remember. There's like some jumpiness in the middle, but we didn't think we'd missed much. So in the end, when it got to the scene, I think maybe I saw it with Movie Todd. That makes sense. I'm trying to think of the friends I have that would drag me to a horror film because only do I go when someone makes me go. That's what happened this last weekend.
My daughter has the same problem. She only goes when someone makes her go. But we're trying to potty train her. We're doing our best. She'll get
Eventually.
it. And I got to tell you, your Zeit feed was wrong.
Okay.
And I thought it was. And so while we were talking, I was doing a little research.
Okay, when's the last one?
The last one was October 22nd of 2010. Paranormal Activity 2.
Oh, so not that long ago.
No, so there's got to be maybe a caveat. Maybe it was like the first time an original horror film.
Right.
Maybe they were unsequeling it.
It's either that or it could have been like
disensequelation.
Or it could have been that Zeit.
It could have been an amount of.
Is that even a word?
Well, Zeit only brings the articles.
It's an aggregator.
They're not Zeit articles.
Sometimes it aggregates me.
Yeah.
You get aggravated
I am positive
easy, though.
that it was on Variety. It was one of the Variety clips.
I'm guessing that it had to have been.
It could have been like a certain amount of money. It could have been the first horror film in 10 years to make X amount of dollars because it's cleaning up.
Or, like I said, it could have just been that it was the first original horror film.
And now here's the thing. I went and saw this film with a guy I used to work with years ago that I've just started hanging out with again. And I had texted him, like, I'm bored, or whatever. I'd actually texted you, too, trying to find out what you were doing. I was just trying to find something to
Right.
do. And he was like, Rave Theater, The Conjuring, 9:30. And I was like, I don't...
People
but
still
I,
go to
I
the
was like,
rave?
I don't want to go. Well, this is what I was going to tell you. Here in Cleve Vegas, we have our own bubble, as you know. It's our little Cleveland bubble, and we love it.
Mhm.
I have to say, it was interesting to go, and I know we're going to do 5 questions later, so I don't want to say too much, but just the short version is, it was interesting to be in a completely packed movie theater. Like, that doesn't happen here ever. Like,
Yeah.
not even, you and I saw Django opening day,
Django.
like opening day that is the actual opening day, like not midnight movie
Right.
showing. I went and saw The Hobbit the same way. I went and saw you. Were you with me for Layman? No. My cousin and
Listen,
I for
we were
Layman.
pretty close on Despicable Me too.
Yeah, Despicable Me.
There's lots of people in the
There were a
Triple
lot
D.
of people.
Yeah,
So,
but how many of them were over 3 foot?
what was weird was being in that
Only like a third.
being in that audience where it was like,
Brett.
where it was like The Conjuring, everybody was buying it, and then we
Right.
went in, and there were so many. When the last time we would have had to have been home in Indiana, the last time I was in a theater where people were coming in and trying to sit down. And you want to give Brett the sports report real quick?
I reckon.
Brett, give us a sports report, but you're super early, so you gotta hurry. We're in our first segment.
Yeah, these games don't come on until 7 tonight. I'm gonna go ahead and give them to you now.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
All right, I'm ready.
I'll start with the first one. The Pirates are playing the Nationals at 7:05.
When do the Braves play?
The Mets,
But when? What time?
7:10.
And that's the game you'll be watching, right?
Yeah.
You got anything else for us?
And I want to keep up to date on the Phillies. No, not the Phillies. The Pirates Nationals game.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, brother, be good.
Thanks, Brett.
There's Brett with your sports report. Anyway, what I was saying is, it was the time I was in the theater, people were walking in and trying to get seats and couldn't because they were coming in 2s and 3s, coming in as a group, and everything had been taken. So they were like a single seat here, a single seat there, and it was definitely the last time.
Move down? Could you move down?
You know, I'll tell you the last.
It was the last time I was sitting next to people I didn't know.
The last
Oh,
time
yeah.
the last time I can remember seeing a movie that was that packed in Cleveland was one of the midnight shows of a Harry Potter movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I went to a midnight show of the Harry Potter movie, but I remember when the Star Wars episode
You went with
1
us.
came out.
You went with us for one.
For Harry Potter?
For one of the
Didn't I?
Harry Potters.
I believe it. Anyway, does anybody
I believe that, as if you were lying.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't
Sounds like,
remember.
And then-
sounds like something happened.
Yeah, I just mean I don't remember it. So anyway, you ready? Last movie you saw in a theater that you liked? Horror movie.
The last horror movie that I saw in a
Yeah.
theater. I honestly can't remember the last horror movie I saw in a theater that I like. It might have been Nightmare on Elm Street for the Dream Warriors.
One of my personal favorites. Ken Dog, we're gonna finish
Do you remember
with AMC.
who
Mike
was
this-
it that sang the song to that? Do you
I don't
remember?
remember.
Was it Quiet Riot or Dawkins or something?
What was the song?
Remember it's You're the Dream Warriors.
Yeah, that was good.
Who was that?
I don't
Call us
remember.
if you know. If you know, I'll give you a Surf's Up Car Wash gift card.
614-5553 if you remember who sang the Dream Warrior song. Ken Dog, what about you? Horror film in the theater.
I don't really go to horror films in the theater unless
It was Mama, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that one in the theater. Unless
I know which one it was.
unless zombie movies count. If zombie movies count, then it was World War Z. But
Yeah, that wasn't.
they're
really
not really horror
film.
movies anymore.
I know which one it was, Kenny.
Yeah,
Anaconda.
that bad.
That's
That's
a
not
horror
even. Oh no, John Voight. It has that big scar, and they're like, anacondas don't eat people, and he points to it, and he's like, oh, they don't.
Ken Dog and
The
I.
only monster in nature so sinister that it eats its prey twice.
The whole time we were sitting there with this family, and this woman was screaming at the screen, screaming, "Cube, get out of the water!
Yeah, I did.
Cube, don't go in that water! Cube, honey, Cube's gonna go in the water!" And the guy had his arm around her. "Don't worry, baby. Cube gonna make everything okay." And he was right because Cube did. So AMC, Mike, we're gonna let you pull up Anchor.
You know,
here.
the problem is I can't think of it. The problem is I don't go see horror movies at a theater.
614-5553 if you're willing to go see The Conjuring with AMC, Mike.
Yes.
I'm far too exposed in a theater to watch a horror movie.
Exposing yourself in a theater is illegal.
Hey.
Pump
the brakes.
We were talking about.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means easy, Chief.
All I know is
I don't want him to go too far with that bit.
Dream Warriors was Dawkins.
Dawkins, good call, dude.
So you don't remember 614-5553 and
Maybe
Slinky
I
will
should
buy
make
your
this-
ticket to go see a horror movie with his wife. I'm trying to help you out here.
Thanks.
I'm trying to be
my money too.
I'm trying
that
to be
you're-
helpful. Sorry. 614-5553. Ken Dog will buy your ticket to go see a
I don't
movie
even
with
go to
AMC,
see
Mike.
that stuff.
It was
He's listening to it.
Dream Warrior.
But I will gladly meet people to go see that movie.
Is
How
anybody
weird
else
would
out
be
there
like
other than me seeing it?
blind movie dates? Like that's all it is.
No,
like,
I'll
it's
set up an
like
event.
Blind movie dates is a great idea.
that
That's our
sounds-
next segment. Rob
that-
goes on a blind movie
that sounds
date.
like a creepy
I'm a little scared
website
about
waiting
that.
to happen.
It frightens me a little bit. What? Music? Must be a quarter after. That means it's time to take a break. And we'll be right back on Lights Camera Cleveland
I don't hear anything.
with box office numbers.
There's music happening.
Yeah, there's music. Trust.
Is there?
I love rational, I'd rather that than casually throw all my dreams away. Love's not some ship you sail on you when you're feeling passionate. You're in it, so get some courage, kid, and why don't you grow up? And all I ever wanted to be was in your stereo that kissed your ears and your sleep. But I'm no Romeo. In fact, I think I barely know nothing about anything. But if we'll take this past the edge and let go, I think we'll find what we're looking for. If we'll take this past the edge and let go, I think we'll find what we're looking for. I've got a dream catcher above my bed so I can shake the demons out of my head and get some sleep. I think that's what I need. And all I ever wanted to be was in your stereo that kissed your ears and your sleep. But I'm no Romeo. In fact, I think I barely know nothing about anything. But if we'll take this past the edge and let go, I think we'll find what we're looking for. If we'll take this past the edge and let go, I think we'll find what we're looking for. I've got a crucifix above my bed so I forget not to pray when I go to bed, but that can't save me. No, that can't save me. It's not the word that saves, it's the man who came and wore it. Oh, it's not the cross that saves, it's the man who came and wore it. And he wore it well, he wore it well. And then he said, all I ever wanted to be was in your stereo that kissed your ears in your sleep. But I'm no Romeo. In fact, I think I barely know nothing about anything. But if we'll take this past the edge and let go, I think we'll find what we're looking for. If we'll take this past the edge and let go, I think we'll find what we're looking for.
Sweet.
And we're back. You're listening to Lights Camera Cleveland. I hope that was on there. I couldn't tell I didn't have my.
It was not.
and
It was
doesn't need to
not.
I didn't have my.
Welcome back to Lights Camera Cleveland. You are listening to Whoop 99 FM, home of the most awesome movie radio show in Cleveland.
Ever.
That's right.
Ever in Cleveland or ever?
Okay.
Both.
Excellent.
I
Very
feel
good.
ever.
I think ever.
You know what else I
In
think?
Cleveland.
This is the other thing I
believe
think.
that.
Sure. What do you think?
I think Slinky hit me with some box office numbers.
Okay, number 7. I'm bringing this up just because it's important. Number 7 is Ripped.
Yeah.
You did not do so good.
AMC Mike had a super win and a super loss
Yeah,
in
I
the
did.
box office this weekend.
Yeah.
And this was her super loss. Pulling up not only at number 7, Slinky, but as we discussed on the interweb chat earlier, also receiving by far the worst reviews of any film of the year.
Let's just say it did not do well. Yeah. So anyway, and number 6 was Pacific Rim, and lasted 1 week in the top 5.
Yeah, it is not pulling the secondary view.
No, it is not.
And people, as much as I loved it, I have not yet seen it a second time, but that might be because Travis Beecham has stiffed us on the show, which got me thinking, what if there's a bunch of people across the country that all have shows, and he's stiffing them on all the shows so they're not going to see the film?
What if it's a bunch of people who are just supporting our one show,
Right, that could be.
and they're not going because they're like, until this guy appears on Lights Camera Cleveland, I'm not going to go see his movie.
Well, I remember Rob when he saw it. He's like, it was awesome. I loved it. I'm going to go see it 3 times in the theater. And then I was like, oh, okay. And then me and Dusty and Spencer went to see it. And we're like, hey, dude, you going to come see it? Yeah, maybe.
But I had the boys that night. I couldn't.
I'm just saying.
I didn't skip it. I didn't.
I'm just
I would
saying
have gone and seen it a
quickly,
second time.
it quickly lost its steam.
I will. Let me
feel.
just say, I will go see it a second time
You know-
in the movie
you know
theater.
sometimes you
but
have
I'm not
those-
going to put it before Red 2. So I need to see Red 2, and then I'll go see
I agree with
Pacific Rim.
All right. Well, speaking of which, number 5, Red 2, $18.5 million. Didn't do all that well.
It's not respectable. They haven't.
It's not getting good reviews either, unfortunately.
They have not pushed the ads as hard as I thought that they would.
Yeah.
Like they're getting overshadowed by both Turbo and Despicable Me 2
Yeah.
in terms of like Despicable Me 2 's still running ads.
Right.
And it's doing great, and they're still
Yeah,
crushing it.
I've seen drug addicts in elementary schoolyards push their product harder than the studios have pushed Red 2.
That's
a
fair.
good analogy.
Yeah. Number 4, Grown Ups 2, still hanging in there, $20 million. Its second week total, $79.5 million.
Well, Grown Ups 2, we just got a text.
Yeah.
We just got a text from our favorite Polishman who's in the Lexington, Kentucky area.
Yeah, he was assigned to see this movie.
He was assigned to see Grown Ups 2, but unfortunately, he let us down.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
He let us down.
And he went and saw something good instead?
The Conjuring.
You know what? I feel like we need to let him. I feel like we need to let him tell the story.
Sure. Well, we can come back to it.
You know what I mean?
Number 3, Turbo, $21.5 million. No surprise there.
You know what's weird? I keep thinking that it's a failed Pixar film, but it's a DreamWorks film.
It doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't look
Number
good.
2, Despicable Me 2, $25.1 million, bringing its 3-week to $276.2 million.
It's crushing it.
It's crazy.
What's this little number 3 thing that you got in the numbers? 276.2.
The third week.
parentheses,
Third week
total. Third week
Yeah.
total.
Is this your first time ever looking at our show notes? Or?
No, it's the first time
He
I ever
just
saw
has
one
you
little
read 'em to
parentheses.
All right.
That's kind of our thing is that you
Yeah.
know about movies.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's part of our.
All right. Number 1 is The Conjuring, bringing in $41.8 million. Like we were talking about earlier, it set the record for the highest grossing opening of an original rated R horror film, and it was the second highest opening ever for a supernatural horror film. It also opened with more money than Pacific Rim, even though it cost 10 times less.
It's funny that I was seeing all these stats about The Conjuring, and I think it was AMC Mike who had brought this up the other day. I could be wrong, but were you the one that talked about how it's R-rated just for scary?
No.
Somebody had brought that up to me. Maybe it was you, Slink. That it doesn't have nudity, it doesn't have gore, it doesn't have very much on-screen violence.
But
it
it's
was
just
actually
that
rated
scary?
R. It's just that scary. And so I was reading an article that said that the studio actually looked at everything that was coming out. It's Man of Steel, Pacific Rim, everything, and they thought, we've got it. We've got what it takes to take on the summer blockbusters, which is really rare. And so they specifically released it in the middle and promoted it like a tentpole and made sure that they released all the trailers during the tentpoles so that as you were sitting there being disappointed by Man of Steel, you would go, that looks scary. I'll go see that.
They kind of took
it
took
worked.
advantage of.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting to have something that scary. I don't know.
So there you go. So apparently there were an awful lot of people seeing The Conjuring, and as opposed to having stayed home and DVR'd Sharknado.
Well, which they could have done.
Yeah.
All the people
If they wanted
watching
to.
The Conjuring were not watching Ripped.
No.
No, nobody was watching Ripped.
No.
How do you feel about it still, Mike? You want to still see it?
Yeah, I'd like to see it, but I mean, I'm not necessarily going to run out.
I'm starting to see that the people that
I
were
want to
like
see it for sure, but
the
now
people who
I'm
were
sad about
waving banners about this thing so much have all sort of changed their tune a little bit. I'm not saying you guys have, but I just mean the general tone online that was, this looks like it's going to be awesome. Then it went to, this looks like this is going to be fun. Then it went to, well, I like cheesy.
Right.
It's like,
and I
because
do
you
like
don't wanna-
cheesy,
you don't want to
but-
be that excited about something that's going to suck, but at the same time, you don't want to turn around and say, I don't want to see it.
Right.
Right.
that's why I don't put political bumper stickers on my car.
just in case.
Because if my side doesn't win, then I got to be scraping.
Well, yesterday I had this interesting moment where I was hanging out with Dustworth yesterday, and we were sitting there chilling, and True Grit came on, and we were watching True Grit for a little bit, and we've been talking about how that's similar to the character that's in Ripped, and I was watching the True Grit, and I was watching Jeff Bridges with Matt Damon,
Me and Yemi.
and I
LaBeef.
was LaBeef. And I was watching it and I was thinking, man, what a great character. And then as we were watching, an actual commercial for Ripped came on, and this time it was him as a caricature of that character, and it was really weird. It was like really, really weird to see this like really serious character all of a sudden being
Juxtaposed
like
next to.
cartoonized,
Right.
if that's a word. I don't know.
I like Jeff Bridges.
I do too, and I like that character. I like that character.
So what's the
Sorry,
deal?
I keep looking
Are
out there
we getting
because there's a little old guy that keeps walking by to check the doors. He's a guard.
How's that working out for him?
I don't know. He keeps walking up and then he'll wave, and then he goes away.
He's like,
a little
At least
distracted.
he's waving.
Hello. Hello. I just checking on the door. Oh.
I heard a rumor.
I like movies.
I heard a rumor, Slinky, that we have 3 pages of big news.
We do, because this was a huge week in Hollywood.
Are you ready to do it?
I am. Do we want to go to a break first, or do we want to go straight in?
Well, I mean, I'm good with whatever.
Yeah?
You want to take a break? We could take a quick break.
Or we could go straight in.
Either of those seem
We
okay.
could make Ken Dog and AMC Mike paper rock scissors for it.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
All right.
Who are you?
That's Ken Dog.
What?
I meant break. Are you break or?
Somebody's
Oh.
got to.
I'm no break.
All right.
All right, Ken Dog's no break. AMC
I'm
Mike is
break.
break.
All right.
You ready?
Okay.
Always start down.
Always start to. Come on.
Come on, throw like a professional. Always start down.
I do throw like a professional
No,
in a
you
schoolyard. You guys have way too much training in paper rock scissors.
I
Whatever.
won't even. Look.
Am I right, Rob?
She's
That's
gonna
actually
she's
true.
gonna
I won't-
read
I
what
won't.
you're throwing.
No, I won't. I promise. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
What?
Oh, it's a tie.
Yeah, when
What's
you
a
make
tie?
me start down, I go
Oh,
up. Because
it's a
where
tie.
I'm from, we go paper, rock, scissors, shoot.
Well,
I don't do
What
that.
do you-
I grew up
what
where
do
you
you mean
grew
where
Yeah,
up.
I
you're
grew
from?
up where
We're
you're
all
from.
from
We're
the
all
same
from
place.
there.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
where
mean,
I grew
no,
up-
but the grade below you guys.
Where I grew up,
The
everything's
grade
wrong.
below, 2 grades below Rob.
This is a
I don't know.
decision
You
I'm
and I are
making. I'm
probably
making
the
a
same grade.
decision. Yeah, I've made a decision. We're going to break.
Well, all right.
Throw one more. Throw one
Okay,
more
here
just
we
for
go.
fun.
The big
All right,
go. All
baby.
right, but I'm going to throw the way I throw.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
okay, here
You
we
know what I
go.
mean?
Okay.
In the streets. Ready?
Sure, okay.
In the street. Paper,
1,
rock,
2.
scissors, shoot.
Yeah, because that changed the
Yeah.
outcome.
You
It
guys
wasn't
got
a-
that wrong.
It was a tie both times.
We'll be right back with big news. Lights, camera, Cleveland.
Well, I shuffled through the city on a 4th of July, had a firecracker waiting to blow. Breaking like a robber who was making his way to the cities of Mexico. Lived in an apartment out on Avenue A, at a tall on a corner of town. Had myself a lover who was finer than gold, but I've been broken, I've been busted up since. Love don't play any games with me anymore like she did before. The world won't wait, so I bet she that thing right out there through the door. Hell, I still love you, New York. Found myself a picture that would fit in the folds of my wallet, and it stayed pretty good. Still amazed that I didn't lose that on a loop of the place. When I was drunk and I was thinking of you. Every day the children, they were singing the tunes out on the streets, and you could hear from inside. You used to take the subway on the house in the third. I would wait for you and not try to hide. Love won't play any games with you anymore if you don't want them to. The world won't wait, watch you shake, but honey, I don't blame you. Hell, I still love you, New York. Hell, I still love you, New York. New York. I remember Christmas in the blistering cold in a church on the Upper West Side. Babe, I stood there singing, I was holding your arm, you were holding my trust like a child. Found a lot of trouble out on Avenue B, but I tried to keep the overhead low. Farewell to the city and the love of my life, as we left before we had to go. Love won't play any games with you anymore if you don't want them to. Sweep and she, this old thing out the door. I'll always be thinking of you. I'll always love you, though, New York. 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 New York, New York.
Some Mike Edge. Hello, New York. Blah, 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 blah.
I need an explanation. I need a Jorts explanation.
No, oh.
We were talking about, apparently at some point I mistakenly called AMC Mike Dudish. When
I've been called worse.
I should have used the word tomboy, which
Once referred to as husband of Slinky.
to
That's
be
worse.
Who said that?
Yipes!
Who said
Hilariously.
that?
And then they told me I had a better beard than him.
I know.
What?
Ouch.
So this was someone being mean.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
not a
My
nice. Listen, I promise that anything I said regarding dudishness had nothing to do with a beard.
with my facial hair.
No, I'm not. I didn't. I would never say that at all. That is ridiculous. I don't talk about. No.
You're not going to talk about my
no.
lovely facial hair.
No. No. I'm not. I'm not. Slinky, did you punch whoever said that in the face?
I have big news.
Does that have anything to do with jorts?
No.
I want to know something. 614-5553.
Uh-oh.
If you've used the word jorts instead of jean shorts.
or if Ken Dog is the only one.
I heard that that's actually the name of Travis Beacham's new film, Jorts.
Jorts.
George too.
From the creator of Pacific Rim, an all new action adventure of heroes.
Jorts.
It's got a very similar plot. They come back to the guy, and he's like, "We need you back." I hung up my jorts long ago.
Beecham is like in his interview. Beecham's like, I was walking on the beach and I was staring at the water, and suddenly I realized there must be two people in the jorts.
You don't understand. It takes two to wear them.
In a world where it's so hot outside, yet you're still doing utility work around your yard. What? Vision. Shorts or jeans? The ultimate solution presents itself, but he'll still have to face his inner demons.
Sorry, Raleigh. Everyone's going to be wearing khakis. That's madness. Madness.
And then you have the
Why
one
can't I
wacky
just wear cargo shorts? No. Too
then you
many
have-
pockets.
And then you have the one wacky scientist who's wearing socks with sandals. You're like,
Oh,
oh!
yeah. That guy.
They told me years ago if I ever put the jorts on again, I would die.
Only one man has worn shorts by himself.
Gene Shalit raves,
This movie was great. It was fantastic. Whoa! Variety says, clearly we've seen this plot before in Pants.
Ain't It Cool News said, they brought us to the set and gave us free stuff, so we loved it.
Rob Alderman said, I don't know. I've tweeted him. I've Facebooked him. He said he'd be on the show, but he just won't be.
Maybe if we send him a pair of jorts, he will.
I'm trying. So I'm doing Listen, for those of you who've asked about local celebrity screenwriter Travis Beecham.
And Twitter sensation.
I have done all I know to do to try to get him on the show. He said he would. I can only assume that he's super is busy. I mean, he did it. There's been, regardless of where they are at in the numbers, that dude has been interviewed a lot.
Look,
Yeah.
he had time to throw on a clean hoodie for Comic-Con, so surely he could have phoned in for us.
That's what I'm saying is I'm starting to think that in actuality, like every single time I think we're going to have him on the show, I see that he's being like interviewed by the New York Times about how nobody's supposed to.
Maybe it's time.
You're not supposed to believe the poor tracking numbers.
Maybe it's time we reach out to his mom and have her on the show.
614-5553 if you know Travis Beecham's mom. Here we go. You're on the Whoop.
This is Roseanne Barn, piano teacher. You called me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, maybe your phone did. Thank you.
Oh,
Hey,
hey,
can I
are you
see-
there?
Hello?
Hey.
I was wondering if you could tell me what your favorite movie was.
I don't watch movies too much.
Really?
What's your favorite movie about a piano?
I'm a piano teacher.
Yeah, I know you're a piano teacher. Have you ever watched a movie about a piano?
Or a musical?
What is it?
Do you know?
What's the name of it? That movie about the piano teacher and the son's death.
Was it The Piano?
I think that one was The Piano.
No, I haven't seen one on the piano.
Oh. Well, since you're on the radio right now, do you want to tell everybody about your music lessons and try to pick up some more students?
Oh, okay. Well, it's $10 for 60 minutes. I'm in East Brainerd, and I have plenty of openings.
Do you want? It's up to you. Now, you really are on the radio. You've called the radio station, so I'm letting you know. Do you want to give your phone number in case people want to call in to get piano
Or do you
lessons?
have a Facebook or something that they can contact?
504-7548.
There you go. For the very best piano lessons in town, call that number.
Not in our town, because it's East Brainerd. So if you're in Chattanooga, which you're not,
That might be worth the drive.
Maybe.
She sounded good at piano.
she hasn't even seen the movie The Piano.
But she had piano fingers. You could tell by the way she dialed us.
I could tell she wears jorts. Anyway,
What time is it?
It's time for the big news.
This is a part of the show where we've scoured the interwebs for all of what is awesome and going on in Hollywood over the past week.
Hey, Travis Beecham, you can call. Seriously, if you want.
Travis Beecham, we have a special phone number reserved just for you. It's 614-5553.
We will kiss your butt about this movie so much.
It's true. I'll even
He probably thinks we're going to be jerks even though we all saw it and liked it. So he's probably like, those guys are going to be jerks. They're going to say I wore a hoodie while I was calling them.
They're gonna
wearing jorts.
They're gonna pretend to be Guillermo interviewing me,
Which
and we would.
is actually
But-
true.
But
But we
Guillermo,
We like Guillermo.
Guillermo
so-
does a very charming interview.
In all fairness, Travis, if you do call in, will you please call him Guillermo, just so that my impression of you can be right?
Or G, because sometimes I know that on over the Facebooks he says G. He's like, "What up, G?"
Oh,
Everything is up, my friend.
Slinky hit me with those box office numbers. Or, I mean, no, it's big news.
Oh yeah.
It's big news time, Slinky. Guillermo, tell me the big news.
The San Diego Comic-Con was this week, so there is much to be a buzz about.
I know, I was there with my hoodie telling people how to write for their dreams.
I had a stool half my size that I sat on, and then I shouted curse words to woo the crowd.
And they loved every
They
moment
loved
of it.
every moment of it.
And I loved it, Guillermo, and I love you.
And then I put on a mask and went onto the Comic-Con floor and bought Pacific Rim merchandise. Because someone has to support my movie. All right, big news. Variety just reported that the average movie ticket price is the highest it's ever been. In the second quarter of 2013, movie prices hit $8.38 per ticket, according to the National Association of Theater Owners. That's 3.2% higher than it was 1 year ago.
Now, in all fairness, as we open this up for questioning, everybody, are you ready?
Well,
Oh,
Isn't-
there's question?
I think you're
Okay,
going
yes.
to explain it, actually. I don't think it's a question.
Isn't everything the highest it's ever been?
Oh, no, actually, they're saying that this 3.2 is a large jump, though. 3.2%. And
Like
there's
the milk I buy is the highest it's ever been.
well, that's true.
Well, yeah, but
Gasoline
milk
is
is
the high-
ridiculous. Let's not even-
Gasoline's the highest it's ever been.
But
Milk
they're,
is more expensive than gas. That's not
they're
right.
saying that a lot of this, though, has to do with the fact that so many films are debuting on more IMAX screens, and IMAX tickets are all like $14. And then they're also debuting more 3D films, and 3D tickets have a $4 upcharge. And so when you
Because
factor
they're all
all
trying
of
to
that,
make Ken Dog go broke.
that's right. So when you factor all of that, so when he brings his 12 kids,
I like how you get more every
he
week.
piles
I
them.
got like 15 kids.
He's got one of those. He just recently purchased an old church school bus
Yep.
that he hauls them around in.
That costs less than his tickets.
That's
I
true.
know.
It's true. So anyway, so there's that. Mostly it's due to 3D and IMAX. So they're not saying that that's really an inflation.
Didn't we say there's
issue.
like a $3 difference between the old theater and the new theater here in town?
Yeah, and then there's like a $12 difference if you include the cost of popcorn.
And since neither of them support the show, we could say whatever we want about them.
yeah, what do you
And
want to
I'm-
say?
I'm not gonna lie. That one over there on the bypass by the
Exit 20.
yeah, that one has prison bathrooms.
Yeah.
it does. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
does it?
They scare. That's my gripe.
Even their new bath since they
at least
fixed it.
at the new one, the kid slings that popcorn in my bucket.
Right.
You know what I mean? I like that. I like.
Wait,
the
was
fact
that a metaphor?
No.
Okay.
I like the fact that like everybody in the hallways and stuff is like, "Hi, sir. What movie are you going to see?"
I like that when the power flickers, the movie stops, but the audio keeps going, and then there's nothing they can do about it, and you just sit there in the dark listening to Die Hard for an hour.
In all fairness, they did give us free tickets,
They did give us free tickets,
which
but-
was the right thing to do.
And it's giving
That
you a
other
good
movie theater
story to
doesn't give
complain
free
about.
anything.
no, that's true.
This is a true story. What was that one that
The other
Leda
one-
saw?
I think the
what was
other-
it Leda saw for her Wreck-It Ralph?
Okay.
Do you remember Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah.
And I was running late, and I tried to get there, and I got there for like the last 20 minutes of Wreck-It Ralph. I walk in, and I tell dude at the prison bathroom theater, I say, "Hey, listen, my niece is in there, and it's her birthday. And this is her birthday movie, and Uncle Robbie has to go into the movie theater for Wreck-It Ralph. Do I have to pay in the middle of the day to go see the last 20 minutes of Wreck-It Ralph?" And that joker made me pay full price to go. Like, humanity is gone over there. Like, all right, that theater is
It is-
out of control.
It is absurd that they would expect you to pay for product.
No, but that's what I'm saying is I wasn't paying for product.
Do you ever go to McDonald's?
They
and-
made me
are you
pay
ever-
for
wait,
not
wait, no,
product.
this is important. Do you ever find yourself at McDonald's going, I only want half a quarter pounder? If you just
Can I
cut,
get an eighth
cut
pounder?
the quarter
An eighth
pounder,
pounder.
cut the quarter pounder in half and give it to me for free because it's important to Leda.
If I said that, I bet they would do it. But they're not going to do it over a prison bathroom.
Well, they wouldn't do it at the McDonald's by my house because they're a bunch of poop faces.
Listen to that. This just got real.
Slinky.
I'm just saying.
We
You know what?
Slinky.
We could do a whole segment called
one
the
thing-
McDonald's on the South Side.
Yeah,
by
the only thing I
is
know about
awful.
that McDonald's is every single time I go through it, even if it's like in the middle of the night, they always say that they can't accept the swipey card. every single time, like for the last 4 years, I time it every time that their swipey machine goes down. And I'm thinking, you're McDonald's, like that's like Walmart. Nothing's ever supposed to break there except humanity.
You know, I want to propose a new Whoop radio show, and it'll be called Rob and the Slinky gripe about local businesses, and then people
I think we're going to get so many
people can
advertisers.
just call in
And this
and
is
gripe.
not. I mean,
Hey, let's for real do that. Hey, 614. Let's listen.
Oh.
Let's
It's
listen.
called
big news.
It's called
Everyone knows
Newtown,
you gripe.
It's called Newtown, Cleveland.
Okay, listen. Let's roll the dice. Here.
Everyone that's listening for movie stuff, I'm sorry.
Listen, yeah, me too. Sorry that somehow you stumbled across this crappy show. 614-5553. You can call in, and as long as you don't use profanity, you get to gripe about any business you want. Let's roll the dice right now.
We're done. We can just
Let's roll the dice.
well, it's been fun,
614-5553.
everyone.
This is dangerous.
So much for that
I
show.
feel like we
Yeah.
just got hosted by Fro. All right, next up on big news, Warner Brothers has opted to not do a traditional Man of Steel sequel.
Go figure.
Saturday at Comic-Con, they made the big announcement that they are going to make a Superman-Batman film
Yes.
as the follow-up to Man of Steel. Zack Snyder, the guy who wrote and directed Man of Steel, is going to co-write the story with David S. Goyer, and they're going to have the movie out by 2015.
Here we go.
Nah, we're safe. Go ahead. Beep, beep, beep. Sharknado alert. Sharknado alert.
You're on the whoop.
I want to complain about the head of the Alderman group.
That's fair.
That's fair. You were given some homework, Polish. You were supposed to watch Grown Ups 2, but you didn't.
No. This week, your friendly Lights Camera Cleveland crew tried to burden me with the task of viewing top-grossing Grown Ups 2. So as to prevent them from going against Geneva Conventions and setting themselves up for prosecution due to hate crime, much less intellectual genocide against Polish people, I skipped it.
Did you replace it with something?
So face it, if you've seen a Sandler comedy, you've seen them all. It goes like this. 1, you introduce flawed but likable everymen. 2, create an antagonist no one could love. 3, introduce quirky characters who've been in every Sandler film before that. 4, insert lots of poop, vomit, and fart jokes. And then 5, everything comes together in an inconceivable way so the guy gets the girl and saves the day. Any questions?
It makes me want to go see that movie now.
Yeah, I wish they were as good as what you just said.
Yeah.
You are breaking up bad.
I said I wish. I wish that his movies were actually as good as what you just said. Well, what did you see instead? Because you hit me up on the face pages and told me to go over to Slinky's house to watch something.
Yes. So rather than lose more brain cells, I instead pursued another movie event, which had been creating quite the buzz lately. I am referring to the made-for-TV sci-fi event, Sharknado. It was the best decision of my life to date.
I can get behind that.
Yes, once, maybe twice in our lifetime, natural and man-made disasters occur which demand our immediate and utmost attention, such as the sinking of the Titanic or Katrina. And now a freak hurricane which picks up and dumps a massive school of sharks on an unsuspecting and heavily flooded Los Angeles. Laws of physics and nature be damned. There are sharks swimming the streets of L.A. and eating people in their homes. So, to capsulize this awesomeness, here are some things I learned which weren't covered during Animal Planet Shark Week or the Weather Channel itself. Number 1, did you know that hurricanes can form and move from west to east when it involves attacking Los Angeles? And that EF5 tornadoes with sharks in it can be easily destroyed by dropping bombs out of a helicopter? And Tara Reid has really gone downhill. And also, sharks can easily swim in 6 inches of water climb ropes, open doors, and maybe, if Sharknado 2 becomes reality, they'll learn to operate heavy equipment and power tools. I can only hope.
Sharknado 2 has already been greenlit.
Sweet. As I said, maybe they'll learn to operate heavy equipment and power tools. It can be only my wet dream. The Oscar and Emmy committees will wrongfully ignore this piece of classic television. See, what I've learned from Sharknado is an often forgotten rule of moviedom. A movie can be so preposterous and over the top, it can cross the lines we normally consider to be set in stone and dip so far below the movie Mendoza line of believability and taste, it enters the territory of awesomely bad. Sharknado reminded me of this, and so Sci-Fi Channel and the writers and directors of Sharknado, I say thank you for this, and for not sending me to an Adam Sandler movie. I now know who my real friends are.
Well done. Well done, Polish. Thank you for calling in.
Have a good day.
Well, there you have it. Apparently, Sharknado is way better than an Adam Sandler film. Way.
Yeah.
I think.
Did you see Sharknado?
I think that Rob Schneider films, though, may still give Sharknado a run for its money.
Is he still alive?
Deuce Bigelow?
He's still alive.
Deuce
Surely,
Bigelow?
if he's doing anything,
He's in Grown Ups too.
That's what I was
don't
going
know.
to say.
If he's
doing
Is that
anything,
being alive, though?
If Rob Schneider is alive, he's in Grown Ups too. So let's look right now.
Now, here's the thing. Let me say this about, we were just talking about this Batman, Superman. Now, as the geeks that we are, the comic book nerds that we are, we ought to care about this somehow.
I don't, though.
This is the thing. When I first saw this online and I read about this, I wanted to care.
Yeah.
But for some reason I didn't. Why is that? Ken Dog, why?
Because what you're feeling is failure. You're feeling that since they cannot get a good current Superman movie, which by all means they should be able to do, okay? All they've been able to come up with is good Batman movies recently, which were awesome. And so they're like, let's hitch to that wagon. And what you're afraid of is that instead of making Superman better, it's going to make Batman worse.
I just think when you've
That's fair, actually. That's
Yeah, and I think that when you've just had such a successful Batman franchise with Christian Bale and he said he's not going to do it, why not give it some time?
I actually
Yeah.
think that's really the key to why we're not excited about it. We're not excited about it because we're Batmaned out.
Well, and we don't
I mean, we're over Batman.
we don't dig unnecessary reboots.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like even though we're Batmaned out, and we have argued and discussed the last of the Batman films and its nonsensicalness and its awesomeness and how both exist, and it has some issues, but it's awesome, but it's weird. And we're Heath Ledgered out for sure. I mean, that just because how many times can you go back and say brilliant performance? I mean, everything that could be said about the Heath Ledger thing has been said. So the thing is, for me, is it feels like an unnecessary who on earth are they going to get to come in and play Batman?
Not only that, chances are they're not.
Rob Schneider.
Chances are they're not
Only
going
if
to
we're
go.
super lucky.
They're not going to go the Dark Knight route.
I'll tell you what. Here is the slinky key to how they can pull this off and be successful.
Okay, I'm
Are
ready.
you ready?
Key.
The slinky key. Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
The only way to do this is to bring in a young 20, 21-year-old actor. Like and I'm not saying him, but someone like a Zac Efron, and I'm not saying Zac
That's
Efron.
awful young.
I know, but it also would make it different. It removes all
And
preconceived
he's
notions.
Batman or he's Superman?
No, he's
No,
saying
because you're not recasting
You're gonna
Superman.
still have
It's still-
Superman as dude.
Henry Cavill is still going to be
But
Superman.
Batman has to be a little older than Superman. That's
Does
sort of
he?
how it always is.
Does he have to be?
If I'm gonna go the Star Trek route that you guys always go, and I'm gonna say that having younger than Superman Batman is like having James T. Kirk apologize on the bridge
Well,
of the
how
Enterprise.
old do we know how old Cavill is?
I don't know, but I would need them to be at least the same age for me to buy into it. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no, I'm following with Rob on this.
I think because there's
It
this
just, it
interesting
doesn't
grumpy
feel
old man
right.
dynamic between, like, Superman is at his heart kind of idealistic,
Yeah, absolutely.
and Batman isn't. You know, he's kind of cynical, so that's
is
all I'm
this,
saying.
Is this
Slink.
going to be the start of the Justice League? Do we know?
Well,
They're saying no Justice League.
Henry Cavill.
And why would they even do this?
No, that's not true. That's not exactly true. Because they're
Okay.
saying Flash in 2016.
Oh, I'm okay with
Okay,
Flash.
so they're working on it.
Right.
Oh, you want them to ruin
Hold
the
on a
Flash?
No, I just want a Flash movie.
Hold on a second. Let's take this thing up a notch. You're on the Whoop.
Hey, what's up?
Yo.
Hi, puppy.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm decent. How are you?
I'm okay.
Wow, you're both
We are
doing
both
fair.
Real quick, hey, puppy, real quick before you go, let me just say, because the question was asked right before you called in, how old Henry Cavill is. He is only 30.
Okay.
So, I mean, a Zac Efron type actor, I mean, he's 27, I think.
Okay.
So, I mean, it wouldn't be completely out of the...
Okay.
You know.
I'm down as long as
But-
they're the same age or a
Ish.
little older.
And I am not saying cast Zac Efron.
no, I know. What
but
I
I'm
know
just
where
saying-
you're trying to pick somebody who was like Taylor Lautner,
Just
Zac
somebody,
Efron,
yeah, cast
age appropriate.
Make Batman young and like on his first couple of crime missions.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I don't need an origin story.
Or like Bat
you know, just
boy,
yeah.
Bat teenager.
Okay.
So there.
You
So-
let Ryan Reynolds do it. I mean, he did so well with Green Lantern.
Ugh.
No, Ryan Reynolds had a super bad weekend.
I know.
Between Turbo and Ripped, Ryan Reynolds is rethinking his career.
I don't know, dude. That dude probably still made some bank.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but the career is in jeopardy. So, Puppy, what'd you call in for?
Have you seen the thing from I Am Legend?
Which thing?
There's actually a Superman Batman logo that was in I Am Legend.
Oh, I saw.
Really?
You know what? I saw a picture of it. You're talking about the one that has the Batman logo above the Superman symbol.
Yes.
The super, and it's a real dark image.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that today.
On your Facebook page, so
Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought that was an interesting thing that it was actually in I Am Legend so long ago, and now it's becoming.
What do you think, Puppy? Can you roll with a younger, hipper Batman?
I don't know. I mean, I was scared to death when Michael Keaton took it on, but he did a good job.
I liked Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I liked him too.
I liked him a lot. But, you know, it all depends on how they do the story, whether it's, you know, later on in life or younger in their life, or it all depends on how they do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I know that's a cop-out answer, but it's...
Well, no, but it's truthful, though. You know.
I don't think I'm down with a young Batman. I get that the Cavill's 30, so I can go 30 or above.
Well,
But-
I think I could do better with, you know, the older Batman having to come in and go, hey, Superman, dude, you're screwing up, or something like that, you know? Who knows?
Right on. Well, thanks for calling in.
All right, see you.
All right, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Puppy.
I just think that going with an early Batman, like new to his craft, is going to be more interesting.
Yeah, no.
You know,
hey,
it's
I get
the
it.
only iteration of Batman that we have not seen.
I think I haven't thought of that, but now as you were describing it, to go with Man of Steel, I think you're right. I think that would gel well because with this being Man of Steel, you know what DC doesn't have is the blended Marvel universe. Okay,
Right.
where we know everybody's there, and it's like a universe where humanity has accepted all these things.
Right.
What DC does not have is they're always like, oh my gosh, there's this one guy, it's Superman. Or, oh my gosh, it's this one guy, it's Batman. They don't have that blended universe. So I'm with Slinky in that if they did that, you know, if an older Batman already existed, it wouldn't have been so shocking
That
for
there
there
was
to
an
be this
alien.
alien.
Right.
Does that make sense?
I also think that if you go with an older Batman, if you go with someone in their like mid to late 30s, you know, you immediately bring into question, did they recast the Christopher Nolan Batman?
That's the one thing I don't want. I like Christopher Nolan's
Well, and they're
Batman,
not.
but I don't
They're not
want
connecting
Christopher
it.
Nolan's Batman. That's what I
It's
don't
Brett
want.
again.
That's what I don't want.
See,
Hey,
what
Brett, we'll have to get back to you, buddy.
What I'm saying is, I don't think they're gonna do a Dark Knight Christopher Nolan Batman. Okay, so they're gonna have to reboot that character again. And in response to you saying why not wait? Why not give it a minute? Marvel, and I was thinking about this the other day, we are living in a very exciting time for comic books and movies. They finally figured out how to do it well. So all of us that like comics are throwing money at the theater
Take our money.
to watch these movies.
The time is now.
And so why would they wait?
Right.
Then
That's fair.
Marvel's just going to be
That much further along.
that much further.
They'll have
along.
They'll have more money to make more films, to make better films.
You know,
to
I
invest
don't
in bigger
want.
films.
And I mean, I'm looking at like 4 more
big news is
big.
and they're all
big
about
news
Marvel.
About,
Yeah.
about comics and movies.
I can just say that after
so I
this
don't really
conversation,
wanna-
I'm actually more excited about this now that we've talked about it than I was
Yeah, sure.
when you
know,
first
I
brought
have
it up.
that effect on you often. I excite you. Next up, Joss Whedon revealed some Avengers 2 information at Comic-Con. The official Avengers 2 title is going to be Avengers: Age of Ultron. However, he has said that it is not an adaptation of the Avengers: Age of Ultron graphic novel. It is instead going to be the origin story of the character Ultron.
Why is he naming it that?
I don't know. As a side note, Ultron was created in the comic books. Ultron was created by Ant-Man, and so suddenly that makes the fact that they picked to do an Ant-Man movie make a ton of sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon is writing and he's directing. He said the sequel will be darker in an attempt to add some realism to balance the science fiction element, and it's going to explore a more global view of things, kind of showing what it's like to be an Avengers in a world of superheroes as opposed to just being in New York. And then Whedon added that he's particularly excited to be writing Hawkeye because all he wrote was that Hawkeye was possessed and scowly through most of the first film,
which
is
I did
true.
not. I did not care for because
Yeah.
I always liked Hawkeye.
You
Well,
would.
the thing is, it's
I like
tough
Hawkeye. I like
now.
Hawkeye too.
You know, that film, that is one of the biggest criticisms of the first Avengers film, is you go out of your way to cast Jeremy Renner.
And then
in
you
the-
don't use
you find a guy that's actually won Best Actor Oscar and been in a Best Film, Oscar award winner, and then you cast him and he doesn't do anything.
Right.
And they almost listen, this is the thing, I know this isn't a comic book show, but the Eisner Awards.
Is it?
It's getting
It
that
is.
way.
The Eisner.
I'm okay with that.
Pretty
Sorry.
soon, every movie will be a comic book movie, and
Yeah,
then
that's what
it
I'm
kind of
saying.
is.
Well, I was just going to say the Eisner Awards were over the weekend. Also, they were Friday and Saturday this past weekend, and Hawkeye, like the first 10 episodes of the reboot of Hawkeye, won like 3 or 4 Eisners too. And so, like, fans are starting to say, well, we have this cool Hawkeye character in
Why
the
are we not
comics.
seeing
We
him?
need to see him on screen.
Well, I saw an interview with Jeremy Renner back when the Avengers first came out, and he was talking about how he was so excited to play Hawkeye that he went out and bought like every single Hawkeye comic
of
book
those
ever.
right, but specifically those comics that just won the Eisner.
And he was so excited to play this character, and he had done all this research, and then he got the script, and he went, "I play Hawkeye for 5 minutes. The rest of the movie, I play like a possessed guy."
Yeah, and it
he was
bugs me
all
because they
sad.
never even call him Hawkeye, first of all. They have the one dude from Thor go, "You mean the Hawk?" And now,
Up in
like, it
his
bums me out
nest.
because Rusty has decided Hawkeye's his favorite comic book character, but he keeps looking at me and defying me and saying, "I call him the Hawk."
Oh God,
I'm like-
I hate it when my kids try to ruin something.
I'm
good.
like, no, it's
like your life.
I'm like, it's Hawkeye. It's Hawkeye. And he goes, "I know, but I call him the Hawk." And I'm like, no, Thor scientist guy, you ruined this. So
I've had the opposite with my kids or with my son at least in introducing him to into comics, and he is just going nuts. I've played the first like 15 minutes maybe of the Avengers movie with him, and every time he sees somebody, it is like his mind is just freshly blown. Like I'm watching the beginning, Samuel L. Jackson walks out, he goes, "This is Nick Fury! That's Nick Fury!" And I wasn't there, but they told me he got to watch part of the Iron Man, which is a little bit much, for him right now. But when he saw Robert Downey Jr., he looked at my wife and went, "He's real. That's the real Iron Man." So like he's watching as the characters come on screen, and he's just so enthralled, and he's like, "I want to see Hulk. Fast forward." I'm like, "Well, you got to go to bed right now." No, I got to see Hulk before I go to bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm getting to experience that. I'm gonna hold off until I see the Ant-Man movie because it upsets me.
You're on the whoop. You're on the whoop.
Nope, they're not.
You
I'm
could be-
trying. They're trying
You
to
can be
be.
on the Whoop now. Now you're
You're
on
on the whoop.
Hey, man.
Hey.
This Fro Daddy. Why you calling Whoop FM?
Nope.
No,
That is
we
our-
lost you.
I'm live and I can't answer.
It's not. It's the, yeah.
Yeah, it went to the machine. We're sorry.
All right, next up, World of Warcraft begins filming in 2014. Legendary Pictures will begin production on a film called Warcraft, based on the Activision Blizzard World of Warcraft game. It's going to be directed by Duncan Jones, who directed Source Code from
Does
a
any-
few years ago.
Source Code was sort of a movie.
Yeah, it was kind of.
It was almost super good.
Here was my problem with Source Code. Can we talk about it for just
Yeah,
a
let's do it.
second? Did you guys all see Source Code?
It was such a weird movie.
Here's the weird thing about Source Code is when you really stop to think about it, the main character murders that guy. I mean, because he like takes over his body
Well, I guess
and
I don't
his
have
life.
to see it now.
yeah.
I mean, and that's we're okay. With
And then
that.
in the end, it's over.
And it's okay because yeah.
the end,
What?
it's
No. So there you go.
I don't know that anybody needs a World of Warcraft film.
I don't.
I
Does
mean,
anybody
aren't they
either?
doing that when they play? I mean, like, isn't the whole point of playing?
Besides
But
the
does
fact
anybody
that they'll
need
have
a
to
World of Warcraft film?
they will have to leave their homes to see it.
Yeah.
Hey, now, come
And
on.
the
No, he's being
sunlight
fair,
can
actually.
kill them possibly.
It is true, though. Listen,
And who's gonna
people
eat
who
their
play World
Cheetos
of
when they're not there?
people who play World of Warcraft do not go out that much. AMC Mike.
That is not true.
I'll tell you what though, if that film
614-5553 if you play World of Warcraft and you don't live in your mom's
Because
basement.
guess what? They're not listening right now. They're playing World
let me
of
tell you.
Warcraft.
Let me
That's
tell you
right.
something. Let me tell you something.
Isn't
Yeah.
it like the number
I'm not-
2 or
listen,
3
I'm not doing
addiction
it.
in the world?
There's not enough bandwidth for them to get our show and World of Warcraft at the same time.
Correct.
I'll tell you what, though, if that studio doesn't get Mountain Dew to sponsor their film, they are fools.
Okay, that is fair. That is fair.
Mountain Dew, Papa John's is angling too.
Next up, Paramount has hired 2 writers to boldly go where J.J. Abrams went twice before. They're reporting that the 2 guys who wrote Thor, Ashley Edward Miller and Zach Stentz, have been pegged to write the next Star Trek film. The writers of the first 2 films, Bob Orkey and Alex Kurtzman, are still going to be involved, and they helped pick those 2, but they are not going to be the main writers. Paramount wants Star Trek 3 in theaters for Star Trek's 50th anniversary in 2016, so they're going to be rushing into this one really fast.
So much for that film.
Well, the Thor was good.
Thor was fair.
I really think that the problem with Thor was its directing. I don't
Do you?
really. Yeah, I don't.
I
think
don't
it was
think
the
the
script.
female lead was written at all well.
I don't think that it was meant to be. It's a chick flick.
It is a chick flick.
Yeah.
Barf.
It was all about. It was just all about
Beefcake.
dude taking his shirt off. That's what
AMC
I'm
Mike,
saying.
would you like to comment on dude taking his shirt off?
Yes, please have some.
Next up, J.J. Abrams is apparently unhappy in his Star Wars. Rumors are flying that Star Trek director J.J. Abrams is not happy about being forced to film Star Wars Episode 7 in England. Heaven forbid he filmed Star Wars in the same place that every Star Wars film ever has been filmed in. You diva, J.J. Diva.
That's what I'm saying. Good riddance.
Rumors are that he is, quote, on the verge of dropping out of the movie. So there
Really?
you go.
Ain't gonna hurt my
Do you know
feelings.
what I'm thinking?
You think they're gonna let him get
I'm-
away with that?
I'm thinking you get to freaking direct Star Wars and a free trip to England?
Did he say why he doesn't want to film it in England?
No. I imagine.
As soon as he's done, go ahead and call Slinky. He would be happy to do this
That's
for you.
right. Listen, for those of you at home who happen to work for Disney and are listening right now, know that if JJ does drop out, I got your back.
He'll do it. He'll do a great job. And I, as
You don't
your
even
manager,
have to pay me.
No,
You have to pay Ken Dog, my
as your
manager.
manager, I'm going to go ahead and say same contract. He'll take 10,000 less.
Yeah,
But
that's
that
fair.
is it.
That's
okay.
fair.
He wants all the deals, all the merch.
And I want Reese's.
Why would they
Pieces.
make him film it in England though?
No, you'll get your pieces.
Because they've
I'll
always
make sure of
shot
that.
Star Wars at Elstree Studios in England. They just
So
they
it's
always
it's
have.
just a legacy issue.
Probably.
Somebody in their care. Somebody's a fanboy.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think this shows that J.J. Abrams is going to try to make it his own, and I don't need that in my Star Wars.
I don't know what I need in
Am
my
I right?
Star Wars anymore. I would settle for Star Wars that was good.
I like how that's what we settle for now these days.
I just want a Star Wars that I don't cringe at.
Yeah. So there you go.
Lights, camera, Cleveland. We'll be right back.
Can't believe we got through all that news.
So much news.
Comic books.
I can't believe how awesome I am.
You swore and said we are not shining stars. This I know, I never said we are. Though I never been through hell like that, I've closed enough windows to know you can never look back. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground. Carry on. Carry on, carry on. So I met up with some friends at the edge of the night at a bar off 75. And we talked and talked about how our parents will die, all our neighbors and wives. But I'd like to think I can cheat it all to make up for the times I've been cheated on. And it's nice to know when I was left for dead, I was found and I don't know these streets. I am not the ghost you ought to be. If you're lost and alone, know you're sinking like a stone. Carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground and carry on. Oh, my head is on fire, but my legs are fine. After all, they are mine. Lay your clothes down on the floor. Close the door, hold the phones, show me how. No one's ever gonna stop us tonight. If you're lost and alone, or you're sinking like a stone, carry on. May your past be the sound of your feet upon the ground and carry
I didn't realize that thing had such a weird long ending. I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know it did all that at the end of that song.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel dirty.
Yeah, you do.
I feel so dirty.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it, though?
I'm going to wash.
Where are you gonna wash?
Whoa.
Hey, no, listen. This is a fair
All
question.
over my body. All the parts.
But listen, if you had to find a place where you could get washed, all of it clean, fast,
I would want it to feel like Miami.
where would you go?
Someplace like Miami.
Would it have?
It would need to have pastels and neons.
Would it need to have lots of hot rod cars
and free vacuums?
Free sprays? Yeah,
You
that's
broke him. You made him break.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's time for the Surf's Up Car Wash Preview Review.
The preview review. All right. This is the part of the movie show where we talk about the movies.
Happy tops of sunlit clouds.
Woo! We talk about the movies we've not seen yet, but we've read everything about. We've watched the previews, and now we're going to tell you if you should see it this weekend or not because we're the experts. Do not try this at home, folks. You'll get hurt yourself.
We hurt ourselves every Monday.
That's right.
Every single Monday we do. Slinky, what is up first?
First up is the to-do list.
Starring the girl from Parks and Rec.
Yeah, this is Aubrey Plaza, Johnny Simmons, Bill Hader, alias Shawkat. This is a feeling presumed to become more sexually experienced before she goes to college. Young Brandy Clark makes a list of things to accomplish before hitting campus in the fall. And then wackiness ensues.
Well, let's start with AMC Mike's take.
At first, when I read about this, I was just kind of like, ugh, this looks gross, blah, blah, blah. But when I actually watched it, it kind of looked a little funny. Like, I was like, I kind of like everybody.
Funny enough to give it a grade?
You know,
AMC Mike is just so nice. She desperately hates giving a hate. You look for the good in things.
you know what? I am going to grade this because I don't think anything else is going to be good coming out this week. So I want someone to. I think it's the best of the three.
We just want all these movies to get along.
We do, but so I'm going to give this one a grade.
She's got to fight. She's like,
Somebody-
I'm going to grade it
somebody's
for the
gotta have-
only reason that it's the best of the hated.
Yes.
Ken Dog.
I hate this movie.
All right.
I think it's getting into
Done.
just that's all it is it's a teen sex romp and I don't think that we need to over sexualize children in our culture. So sorry.
There you go. That's right.
I
That's
hate
fair.
it. I hate it. I don't like the idea of them
Of like the
portraying
girl who's going away to college
girl
has to try everything if
she has to do a bunch of perverted crap before she gets to college because that's what everybody does. Society, yay! And it's going to be hilarious because it is. You're right. All these people are funny, and Bill Hader is funny, and Aubrey Plaza is funny. So they're gonna serve it up on a platter like, hey, this is awesome. But the truth of it is, they're all just gonna have to go to the clinic. That's the sequel to this movie.
What's going to happen is that she's not going to do any of it though.
I think you're probably right. I think she's
it's
probably
going to
fail.
She's going to
in all these.
misunderstand.
Yeah, but there's still going to be a bunch of people in
but
movie
I
that
think both
are
true.
successful.
I actually think, and this is something Slinky and I used to talk about on TV. Slinky used to bring this up. I always agreed with the Medea films, right? Where we would say like it's so rare to find films that actually say like doing these things. Like the weird thing about like the Tyler Perry films are like in his films, the women that go out and do these things end up as single moms. And they don't end up getting a college education because they end up getting pregnant and not.
Yeah.
And we would talk about like the importance of someone out there
saying this to that community.
Saying this, right. Well, like, and I think Ken Dog's right about this, and he's right. Like the players are funny. I actually, let me tell you why I'm going to give this a hate. I'm going to give it a hate for the same reason as, remember last week when we were talking about the death of the Glee guy?
Yeah.
And you were talking about too young to die, too old to play a high school student.
Right.
There is nobody in this film that has any business playing a high school student. She's not that young. All right. Now, they have done her up to look young. But in the trailers, you can see the college graduate hiding inside.
Right.
Like she's not even, is she not a high school student?
Yeah.
She's not a college student. She's an actual graduated probably from Berkeley.
She's
All right.
She's a professor.
And so not only do I agree with Kenny, but this is the one thing is I was actually, I loved, let me see, her last independent film, Safety Not Guaranteed, was awesome. It was so smart, and it was so funny, and she was so good in it. And she is also, and now again, these are just my opinions, but she's so funny. She's so good on Parks and Rec, and she's so smart in Parks and Rec that I feel like what she just did was she took the role that Emma Stone avoided narrowly with Easy A. like Easy A, the reason Easy A worked was because in the trailers and stuff, they actually did say this is going to be about a girl who doesn't do these things.
Right.
Okay? And Emma Stone had talked about that marketing at one point and saying like she didn't want to over-sexualize everything, and hers was about a high school student that gets labeled with doing this stuff even though she's not doing it. But it was still a close call for Emma Stone.
Right.
It was kind of like, wait a minute, which way? And
was a better movie than it should have been.
It was a better movie than it
was a
should have
good
been.
movie.
It had some heart in it because it really talked to like the nerd, like kind of the nerd thing that's expected of you, and it shined a light on that. So I think Carrie's right, or AMC Mike. I think you're right. I think that what's going to happen in this film is I think she's going to make this list, and she's going to go out to try to do these things. And what it's actually going to do is shine the light on how you don't need to do those things.
Right.
Hey, high school girl, you don't need to do these things in order to be accepted in college, so that you don't end up in a Tyler Perry film, right? But this marketing has not at all done that at all. And they're all too old. It's not just that she's too old, but there's like one part where she's sitting at a table with her friends, and she starts naming off some of the things that are on her list, and the clearly more experienced high school easy girl goes, I haven't even tried half of those.
Right.
It's like, so they haven't gone the smart route of Easy A. They're kind of playing this like Porky's 4. or something. So
I'll give it a chance if you guys come back to me and tell me that it did go through that way. But I still
now we're all going to come back and tell you that whether we've seen it or not.
Yeah,
just to
and
make
now
you go.
and then I go and
then
I
we
come
can
back
ask
and
you
I'm
5 questions
horrified and
about
I'm
it.
like, you guys are liars and I hate your guts.
Anyway, that's why I give it a hate though. Is really the casting's completely all wrong. Like it's not right. Don't take a 35-year-old woman and put her and pretend she's a high school.
It's like when they do the makeover movie, and you're like, "Oh, that girl's got overalls and glasses.
Right?
I
She's
bet she
gonna be
looks like
hot
a
later."
prom queen
And
at the
and the
end.
reason they have to do this is it's probably actually illegal to write a
To have
script like
children
this and
talk
have
about the
chil-
things they're
and
gonna
have
talk
children
about?
talk about the things they're going to talk about.
Well,
Yeah.
at least there's something. I hope
Well,
that's true.
here's what I think. I think it looks dumb. I'm going to hate it. Next up.
Yeah.
Next up is Blue Jasmine. This is the new Woody Allen film. And because it's the new Woody Allen film, it stars everyone.
Yeah, it really does.
This one is about a life crisis causing a woman to head to San Francisco, where she reconnects with her sister, and then boring stuff happens for 3 more hours. Starring Cate Blanchett, Alec Baldwin, Sally Hawkins, Peter Sarsgaard,
Peter Sarsgaard's in
Bradley
this?
Cooper.
Everyone who doesn't make it in the trailer because it's just an Alec Baldwin, Cate Blanchett.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to hate this one because it looks dumb. AMC Mike?
I couldn't figure out why the trailer made me uncomfortable, and then I realized that it was a Woody Allen movie, and it made sense. Then I hate it.
It was really... I'll go next. The trailer is actually disturbing because you know that someone gives this a budget. And somebody says, Woody Allen, he's a genius.
Right. It's like Terrence Malick. Why do they keep throwing money at that guy so he can do close-ups of snakes?
Woody
crawling through
Allen
weeds?
films-
At least they're pretty close-ups.
Like,
This
it's a
wasn't even
metaphor.
pretty.
Woody Allen hasn't made a good film since Woody Allen was in a film.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
this is my new movie. Oi.
the whole thing is so
It's
disturbing.
very popular.
Look at my glasses.
Oi.
I couldn't tell either.
That sounds like an Animaniacs
I couldn't
character.
tell.
That's because
Yeah.
Woody Allen sounds like an
Yeah, he does.
Animaniacs.
I
character.
couldn't tell in this trailer if it was supposed to be a comedy or a drama. Like, I didn't like the fact that, like, at one point she's kind of mumbling to herself, and they have the old guy go, "Excuse me, miss, are you talking to me?" And you go, "Oh, ha, ha." And then Alec Baldwin's like, "Your whole life's falling apart." I was like, "Why'd you do that to me already?" Like, I don't. And here's the other thing. You ready? It didn't actually make sense.
Yeah.
The trailer doesn't make any
No.
sense. It's cut up all. It's almost like somebody took the whole film, cut it up into 30-second pieces, put it in a box or a hat, and shook it up, and had a 7-year-old reach in, and they said if you pull out like 10 of these clips, that gives us a minute 30. And so they did that, and that's what this trailer is. Anyway, I
Right.
give it a hate. Ken Dog.
I'm also gonna hate it. I don't know that I've ever seen a Woody Allen movie, but I know
You're
that they're
very lucky.
I know they're supposed to be, insightful and quirky.
No.
But what this looks like to me is putting the story of a bunch of broken, horrible people on film, and we're gonna watch it. The only thing, Louis C.K. is in that clip for like a second. He doesn't
Yeah.
say anything, but I saw him. I was like, "It was Louis." And then
But he was already gone. in
and then the
favor of
rest
Kate
of the
Blanchett
clip,
drinking.
right? And then she got super drunk, and
Alec Baldwin walks in and says
did you
something like he'll
realize-
give her everything she wants, but you're thinking, didn't you guys break up? Isn't that why she's at her sister's house?
Hey, did you realize that Andrew Dice Clay is in that movie? Did you see him?
He's much thinner.
No, that's the thing. That's a different dude.
That's
That looks-
CGI.
That
No,
looks
that's a
like-
different guy.
That's a different guy that looks like young Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes. So they're both in there. So you're talking about the guy who throws the chair and has the long hair.
Yeah.
That's not him. If you watch, Andrew Dice Clay is old and fat and bald.
He must
and
play
he's
his
in
dad.
This movie. Must be. And I'm like, that looks horrible.
The whole thing looks like a Wes Anderson film gone wrong, but
somebody fixed the lighting.
like Rushmore, but not funny. Like, what
Right.
if we did Rushmore, but as a tragedy?
Take all the horrible people the horrible awkward people in the Wes Anderson movies, fix the lighting, and you've got Blue Jasmine.
Fix the lighting.
Well, we actually have a clip of the pitch session where Woody Allen pitched to get funding.
Yeah, I'm
for
ready
this
to hear
movie.
it.
All right, Rob,
So-
you're the executive. He's Woody Allen. I'm Dice Clay.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Oh, okay, so here's the movie I've got.
I'm ready to hear all about it because I want to throw a whole lot of money at you, Woody.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's this girl, all right? I'm 16. Oi, and this girl, this stuff happens to her. And then we cast everybody in Hollywood in it because they all want to be in it. Boom.
I'm gonna wear a tank top. Ooh-ah!
I need to know, Woody, before I throw millions of dollars at
yeah.
you again,
Yeah.
I need to know, will there be any incest?
Oh, only behind. Only. Do you mean on the set or do you mean in the movie?
I'm talking about both because we have standards.
Do you want it?
I'm gonna be smoking. Boom.
Let me ask a question for Andrew. Andrew, can you bring your younger, skinnier son to throw a chair?
Bada bing.
I'll need you all to leave and leave me alone with the 16-year-old girl that you're just talking about. You said we were playing Hollywood. That's what you said.
I thought I almost
suddenly
threw
we're
a
talking
chair.
about the to-do list again.
What?
This is what we don't want. This is what we don't want. That's
So I hate
actually
it.
true, though.
Yeah.
So 4 hates.
4 hates.
And a 1 great so far for the to-do list only because she hates to hate all of them.
Ooh, I do.
All right, last up.
I have to give somebody
Should I
hope
call
for
you
something.
Logan?
Wolverine! Snickety snack!
That's right. The Wolverine opens Friday. Summoned to Japan by an old acquaintance, Wolverine becomes embroiled in a conflict that forces him, here you go, to confront his own demons.
Oh, man, not again.
Demons? You've got demons? Cool.
Ken Dog, we'll start with you.
This one stars Hugh Jackman as the Wolverine.
All right. Hold on to your hats.
Okay.
I loathe Wolverine. Okay.
Now, wait. Hang on. The movies or the comic book character?
Let me finish.
I can't. It's my radio show, and I have to direct your conversation.
I don't like Wolverine in any form, except I found this YouTube clip of Wolverine the musical. Did I send it to you guys?
No.
And he's a puppet. And I'll be honest, I watched it, I laughed, and it made me want to see this movie now because I was like, because I feel like all Wolverine is Wolverine. So I'm like, oh, he doesn't take himself too seriously. Maybe he's growing as a person.
Somewhere deep inside, he's a musician.
Right, and a puppet. And
puppet.
so I
can only
watched
hope.
this, and I was like, well, it doesn't look like they're going to ruin Deadpool in this one. Maybe I can give it a chance. Oh, and I also watched honest trailers of the older one. I sent you that one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I was like, yeah, okay. It's cool. Maybe I'll watch it.
Are you
So-
actually saying you give this a grade?
Listen, there's this part where he fights the robot from Pacific Rim, and I want to see that fight. I want to see that fight, so I'm going to give it a grade.
Oh, my God.
Holy cow, it got a grade.
The world is
Wow.
falling down around me, but I want to see it.
AMC Mike, what
I
do you
have
give
to
it?
scoot away from Ken Dog now because I'm not comfortable sitting that close to him. Yeah, no, hate.
Why, though?
I don't like Wolverine in any. Maybe I'd like him as a puppet.
You will.
Okay, you need to put that link up because
Yeah.
I'll watch that and try. But I dislike the character from the very beginning, like from reading comics on.
I liked Wolverine early. Like,
I
when
did too.
Wolverine first came out, I really enjoyed him.
I liked him back when he wore
The
like
blue and yellow suit.
a blue and yellow suit and smoked cigars a
And
lot.
said
Right.
bub.
And he was even okay
Yeah.
when he first got his own comic book, and they did the whole patch thing where he was Patch in Japan. And I know this movie's kind of based a little bit on that, but like even that was okay. But somewhere around issue 6 or 7 of his own series, like the world decided, oh, he's now our favorite character. And that was really when he went downhill for me. And it wasn't like me rejecting the popular character. Like, it was because of how Marvel changed him in reaction
They made
to-
him their Superman,
right.
but not with all of the. Believe it or not, I'm about to say this. Not all the things that a true comic book fan realizes make Superman interesting.
Yeah.
Superman's actually interesting if you're into that world, if you're into that DC world. But except they take all that away from Wolverine by making him too cool.
Right.
Like Superman's interesting because he's a nerd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and see, Wolverine was interesting because he was mean.
And mysterious. You didn't know everything about him, and then they started letting you know, and you didn't care.
How many? I mean, they've published like 12 origins of him
I think
at this point.
I think for me, one of the things that I disliked about him so much was that he is the worst teammate you could ever have.
Yeah.
And yet is on every team in Marvel.
So
It's because who
I-
doesn't want a guy on your team that can't lose?
or
because-
shave.
Well, yeah.
And so I think when I see him on his own, it makes more sense to me.
Sure.
It doesn't make me as angry when they're like, "Oh, he's the best." I'm like, "No, you guys, he's the worst."
He left
you turned
you.
around, and when you needed him, he was off getting revenge on somebody instead of doing his part and watching your back, Cyclops.
Yeah. Oh, and
That's right.
not to
True
mention
that,
he
true
slept
that.
with your girl.
Yeah, we are nerding out right now so hard, but that's true. So, Ryan, what do you give it?
You know, I'm going to hate this one. Here's the deal. I kind of feel like the only thing good about Wolverine anymore is that Hugh Jackman's playing him. And I can't help, it's so weird, but like, how many of these crappy Wolverine films can you make before having a perfect actor starts to not matter anymore?
I feel like these movies
I just got a text from Ken Dog.
fail at concept before there's ever, like, not only do they have bad writers, but, like, who actually said, okay, we're going to try to get the Wolverine thing right. And they're sitting around in a room and somebody says, I know, the Silver Samurai. Right? Look, you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean when I say
Right.
they fail at concept? There is no reason, okay? I'm going to say this. There is no reason that a Wolverine film, even though we may have issues with the character or whatever,
yeah.
could, even with all of the issues we have with them, could make it interesting because of that. If you played into that, it's kind of like Lie to Me, the TV show Lie to Me, like it was awesome because Tim Roth did play a jerk.
Right.
And it was cool because he was a jerk, right? Like, the problem is in concept, they're giving us the Wolverine stories we don't care about.
Right.
That is the issue. If you really wanted to make this movie a movie that we cared about, go ahead and cast the people from the X-Men to be in the beginning of the film, right? And have him have a falling out with Cyclops where Cyclops yells, "You slept with my girl. You weren't there for me when I got killed. I'm back now and I'm the leader. And
Go
you'll
away.
never be the leader. Go away." And he
I
gets
don't
on
like you.
Right. He gets on his motorcycle
You don't know me. You don't know me at all. You don't understand me.
and he drives away. Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this movie a hate.
So
You changed my mind.
So this is the thing is, right, we talked about before. So here's the thing is they fail at concept.
Right.
So instead somebody said, you know what everybody actually wants? Let's take him and put him in Japan with some sort of feudal lord guy that claims to know his background and can give him the adamantium that he needs. How many times do we need to see him get laced with adamantium anyway?
Right.
I'm not sure about that.
Do they not take his adamantium first?
They do this whole mess in
They
this
do
thing.
something.
So the thing is that it's in the concept room before they ever even hire a writer. Okay, like somebody needs to sit down that actually cares about the comics
Right.
and has read it. Is somebody who even maybe doesn't like the character but cares about the comic universe.
Yes.
Right.
And can frame it because your fanboys don't want this film. So you're losing out on the general public because everybody remembers that X-Men 2 was crap.
No, X-Men.
I mean,
3.
X-Men 3 was crap.
and
sorry.
that Wolverine Origins was crap.
And that Wolverine Origins was crap. And so now you're trying to overcome this, and you don't even have the fanboys, much less the general public. So this is a film nobody wants to see because nobody cares
Right.
about. This needs to be, you want to know what you do? Go get Chris Hemsworth back. Dress him up like Sabretooth, right? Like he was in the X-Men films. And when wasn't he
What?
Sabretooth?
No.
I just want him dressed up as.
Okay, I forget. Somebody played Sabretooth that then played somebody else.
Wasn't he a wrestler?
Maybe that was
The
it.
guy
but-
with-
Depends. Sabretooth's been played by 2 different actors.
Okay, so my point is
In Wolverine Origins, it was.
that's not the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about from the
Lee
first.
Schreiber.
Yeah, it was Lee Schreiber in Wolverine.
Interesting.
Origins.
Well, I didn't see Wolverine Origins because I was already checked out.
Really?
But here's my point: is that X-Men 1, that Sabretooth, right?
Yeah, I'll find out who that is.
Give us that storyline where it's just him trying to track down a serial killer in the Canadian wilderness who turns out to be maybe his dad, maybe not his dad. We're not really sure. All we know is both of them heal and they both have claws and they beat the crap out of each other. Those are the comics that I want to see. And at the end, maybe he's actually about to lose and the X-Men have to come in and save him. Sorry, but in the last 30 seconds, I just did better than Hollywood's done in the last 10 years with this character.
He was a professional wrestler named Tyler Mane.
Boom. Okay, you got it.
You're welcome, Hollywood.
6 foot.
Rob just gave you that one for free.
6'9".
There you go. So I give you that one. I give you that one for free because you're right. Slinky hit something super important here. Hugh Jackman's a good actor,
Right.
And he's doing the best he can do with this thing. We don't know. Like, let me tell you something. Back when he did X-Men 1, he signed on for multi-deals back then. So when they
Right.
say that he signed on to a new Wolverine movie, don't freaking kid yourself. He would be out of this if he could. But back then when he thought they were going to make good movies, he signed with Marvel like every single time you do this character.
Is this
I'm the
Marvel or is this
Wolverine.
Fox?
This is
Fox.
Fox. Sorry, that's what I meant. So he signed with Fox back then on the gravy train thinking, these are good movies. And then they weren't.
Yeah.
I give it
there
a
you go.
triple hate.
And I'll tell you what really annoys me is that it's becoming, we're finding out now that Wolverine is going to be the central character in X-Men, the sequel to X-Men First Class.
Really?
In Days of Future Past. He's going to be the connecting character between timelines.
How's that even possible?
Somehow or another, Patrick Stewart's going to send him back in time. It's the worst idea ever.
I'm gonna try something.
Now
Isn't that
that's
supposed to be
Fox,
Kitty
right?
Pryde?
We're all talking about the Fox line.
Hey, I'm about to try
Yes.
something here.
What are you going to try? What you going to try?
I'm the Wolverine. You may know me from such movies as The Wolverine, X-Men.
This is
No,
the
you gotta
puppet.
turn.
Titan Leopold,
Here.
Les Miserables. You may be asking why I'm talking like this, when I may be the Wolverine, but I'm also Hugh Jackman, and Hugh Jackman's from Australia. I'm the best at what I do.
When does he start
and
singing,
what
Ken?
I do is sing. Let me tell you, Bob, I'm the best at what I do. I'm no Boy Scout, make no mistake. The other X-Men might not want to run you through, but I've razor claws and a healing factor and bones that no one can break. Let me tell you, Bob, I'm the best at what I do. I smoke cigars and drink without a care. I might be short, but I fought the Hulk, and let me tell you, Bob, it's true. Love my head and chest, both sport amazing heaven. Canada, mate.
Ken Dog's absolutely
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Way
That's
better
a-
than any
I
Fox
I could watch
movie.
2 hours of that.
That is better in 10 seconds. That's
Listen,
better than anything.
Go to
anything Fox has
YouTube,
done.
put in Wolverine the musical, pick the one with the puppet. Multiple Man's in it, and he starts singing different harmony parts as Multiple Man. I mean, it's quality.
I'll put it up on our on the Facebook for our
All
listeners.
right, you can find us at facebook.com/lightscameracleveland. So there you go. That was the preview review. We are going to be right back in just a minute. You're listening to Lights Camera Cleveland on Whoop 99.9 FM. What?
Sing for me, Slim.
No, seriously, what?
Sing for me.
Wake up in the morning and I raise my weary head. I've got an old coat for a pillow, and the earth was last night's bed. I don't know where I'm going, only God knows where I've been. I'm a devil on the run, a six-gun lover, a candle in the wind. Yeah! Brought into this world where they say you're born with sin. Well, at least they gave me some. I
And we are back. You're listening to Lights Camera Cleveland, or you are watching Lights Camera Cleveland on whoopfm.com. This is the movie show.
Yeah,
Welcome.
it is. Y'all do that movie show.
We are.
Y'all do that movie show.
You just need to play some bluegrass and shut your mouths. This is the Hollywood Slinky. Joining me is Rob Alderman, and joining Rob and I is the Ken Dog and AMC Mike.
There they are.
I'm right here.
Rob
Right
went
here.
and seen The Conjuring this week,
Indeedy, he did.
and so now we are prepared to ask him 5 questions.
This is where I wish we actually had the bumpers that we always talk about making every week. Like, I wish when you said that, then it would go boom, 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 5 questions. Or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
We need to do bumpers. Note to
Yeah.
self. Note to self. do
Note to
bumpers.
self.
Hey, Carmi, check this out.
Carmi, if you're listening, we are leaving this for you with Mark here at the station.
That's right. We
so there you
delivered
go.
after a month.
Right. So, anyway, 5 questions for Rob about The Conjuring. Ken Dog. Question 1.
All right, my question is for Rob.
Yes.
The trailer does this whole based on a true story, blah 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 blah. Oftentimes that just falls apart. Such as like the Blair Witch. Remember they did the big, oh, this is lost footage stuff.
Hey, hold on 1 second, Doug.
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. I just got in from Memorial Hospital. Mr. Carmi's not feeling well.
Oh, no.
So the last song that you played kind of cheered me up.
That's what I'm talking about. Bon Jovi.
Yeah, that was cool. Anyway, he's going to be okay. It's just going to take a while.
You know, they call Mr. Carmi Young Gun.
At least we do now.
When you go back to the hospital to visit him,
Yeah,
I want you to tell him we said that.
I will.
Say the boys and girl over at Lights Camera Cleveland said they call you Young Gun.
Young gun. I will.
Well,
Why would somebody see Conjuring? Anyway.
I went and saw it. We're about to
That's
talk.
one of our 5
questions.
questions. Ask
Hold
Rob.
on. Okay, you're about to hear that answer. We'll talk to you soon, Carmi.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, Carmi took the first question.
All right.
Why would anyone go see this?
Was that your question?
No,
Ken
but
Dog?
Carmi can take it.
Okay, Carmi can take that. I went to see it because I found myself bored on a Friday night.
That's dangerous.
And
That
it is,
dangerous.
and here's the deal.
You've never went to see crappy movies on any other Friday night.
I posted.
That exact same
I
description.
was free. I didn't have anything else going on, which is rare. Okay, so it was actually a completely free Friday night. I actually hit up everybody in this room to do something. Okay. And you guys, you and the AMC Mike were indisposed, and Ken Dog was at home watching Doctor Who reruns.
Yeah, my kids were in bed and I was watching Doctor Who.
And so
I like Doctor Who.
I'd already seen all the Doctor Who. So what I did was I had texted a friend of mine and I was like, I'm bored or whatever, and he said Conjuring at the rave at 9:30. So that's the reason. Why would you go
said
see
to
it?
yourself, oh crap.
Well, yeah, I realized that then I had to step up, or I couldn't be like, I'm bored, boo-hoo-hoo, I have nothing to do. When
I'm
here's
bored,
a
but I'm a scaredy cat. Yeah,
right,
that
here's a
doesn't really-
friend of mine. Here's a friend of mine actually saying, let's go see a movie. So I'm a movie guy. I gotta go see it.
All right, Ken Dog.
All right, Ken Dog,
question
I'm ready.
2. It's based on a true story.
All right, so my question is, I'll review it. A lot of these movies, they say based on a true story, or they have this back plot like the Blair Witch did, but oftentimes that all just kind of falls apart, and you're like, no, I don't believe that. Did that part of it, I mean, did they sell that to you?
AMC Mike called this one last week, I guess, or the week before, whenever we first talked about it. She nailed it. This is a true story. It feels like a true story, and the characters, like at some point, somebody was sitting there telling the scriptwriter, okay, there were these people, and these are who they were, and this is what they were like, and this is what happened, and so yes, they sell it like a true story, hardcore, and they don't go. And by the way, they don't go out of their way to be all like, based on true events, something stupid happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
Years later, other things. Like that's not like they did not do that. Like AMC Mike, when she was talking about why she wanted to see it, she said something about like, this looks genuinely scary in the way that people get scared, and like I was like,
Right, like when you're scared, you're empathizing with the people on screen going, well, that would scare me.
Yeah.
Like, so it didn't feel weird like there's like, I mean, at some point, let's talk about Blair Witch, right?
Yeah.
Where at some point you go, no, anybody, like at some point you would just sit down in the wilderness and wait for someone to find you.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? You wouldn't keep going, we crossed this creek 7 times or whatever. You would just sit down and go, it's a good thing that our friends back in Connecticut know we're making a movie in this wilderness.
Right.
You should come find us by Monday. Yeah.
That never happens
Yeah,
in this film.
Jerry's supposed to meet us with more batteries and hot dogs tonight.
Yeah, like what happens in this film is you see some real people encounter scary stuff, and they do what you would expect real people to do, and it's still scary. So yeah, they totally sell it.
All right.
All right.
Question 2.
That's 3.
3.
Yeah.
Never,
You're up,
never,
Mike.
Okay.
Never correct me on my
Sorry.
own show.
I'm sorry, sir.
All right.
Question 2.
Rob, you said that the theater was pretty packed. Would it have been scarier if it had been empty and you had to watch the movie by yourself?
Oh, good question.
It was. Let me say this: the movie's actually good, which is for me rare. Maybe people think horror movies are good, but I don't. I actually think most horror movies are crap.
Sure.
Okay, most horror movies, when they say they're scary, what they really mean is that they're gory. This movie was actually scary. I don't think it mattered if I saw this film alone or if I saw this movie in a theater. The story was scary enough that I would have been scared no matter what.
All right. Question.
There was, let me just say one thing. There was, along those lines, there was one moment in the crowded theater where this poor dude sneezed, a legitimate loud sneeze, and everyone in the theater screamed their head. It was, everybody'd been so tense. It's exhaustingly scary.
Right.
All right.
So,
Question 4. Does this movie rely more upon the story being eerie, like the situation is just eerie, uncomfortable, scary, or does this movie do jump out from the darkness? Rah!
this movie balances it so well that the jump out stuff, it wipes you out. Yeah, I used the word exhausting a second ago. Like, there's so many times when the story is driving the fear. So here's a good example without being spoilery is, let's say there's a, there's a scene in there where one of the, I'm trying to stick to the trailer so that we can understand, like, one of the family members is seeing something behind a door.
Ugh.
She can see it, but the other people in the room cannot.
Okay.
And so the camera continues to creep towards the door.
Nope.
And you're like,
I don't like that.
but it keeps it from the family member's perspective, right?
Right.
So you're like, that's terrifying. I don't see it, but this person's weeping uncontrollably. So her weeping
Right.
is scaring the crap out of me, right?
Right.
And then, like a few minutes later, when they're like, when somebody says, I see something over here, and you're like, oh no, I didn't like that when she was crying, and then they show you the scary thing, and you go, no, I don't like that either. So, like, you can't win. Like, you can't
Right.
win with anything. This guy, whoever it was made this movie, is masterful. This was actually a testament to good directing. This guy was like, if I keep scaring people by showing them scary things, they'll get too exhausted to enjoy the movie. And if I keep scaring people by not showing them scary things, they'll get too exhausted. So I'm going to take them back and forth so that they don't get exhausted till the end.
All right.
Till they're just weeping
All right.
at the end.
Question 5.
All right, I'm ready.
If nobody else has one, I've got one.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. My question 5 is, does this film have a resolution and or explanation for what is occurring?
Yes and yes. It's fantastic.
Good.
It's
All right.
fantastic. It's believable.
I asked that question because so many horror movies now these days kind of end with just like everybody has been saved, but what's happening is either not
Right.
explained or
Right.
not resolved.
Let me say in conclusion, it is not a secret that they have just greenlit The Conjuring 2.
Right.
And what I love is they are not making it a sequel
of The Conjuring 1. This is a story about a couple that are demonologists. They are the most famous demonologists in United States history. They are actually the people who are responsible for the story behind the Exorcist and the couple that are the story behind the Amityville Horror. So these things come out of their files. So what I love is that The Conjuring 2 is going to be a different one of their adventures.
It's going to be another case.
Right. It's not that this was not resolved. This was absolutely resolved. They're not going to take this story.
I think it's awesome that The Conjuring is basically going to become like the next Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, you know
or
what?
X-Files.
I remember one time I saw this thing where the couple.
Was it a gnome in Postelnik's basement?
No, this
Don't like
couple.
that at all.
The story where they meet the Globetrotters is amazing.
I like when they team up with Batman.
That one's good.
The
Also,
Laurel and Hardy one's
Also,
pretty good.
Abbott Costello was
Oh,
it?
yeah.
I don't know. It was one of those guys.
Well, much like all of those, there is resolution. So yes,
awesome. Well, you know what? Here's some exciting stuff. You know what's happening in the news right now?
I know what's happening all over Facebook.
Oh, what?
Someone had a baby.
Oh, what?
The Queen of England or whatever.
No, she's a princess.
I don't know, except for that every woman in America cares. So maybe we should just ask AMC Mike, because I don't know who had this baby.
All I know is
No, remember, I'm dudeish.
today.
Okay.
Wait, listen, today, right? I'm sitting in my office, and it's about like 3:00, and all of a sudden, the girl intern at my office, she leans into my room and goes, "Hey, Ryan, do you have a second?" And I'm like, "Sure," and I'm thinking something's wrong, or she's got a problem with a, piece of work or something, and she goes, You're following Twitter right now, right? And I'm thinking, oh, great, someone's saying bad things about my company on Twitter or whatever. I'm like, yeah. And she goes, okay, whew, good. I need you to tell me the moment the baby is born and let me know if it's a boy or a girl.
Nobody knew if it's a boy or girl, right? That's because they need to know, is it a little princess finally or a prince?
Right.
They've had too many princes, I guess.
Well, it turns out it is a prince.
Right.
And, of course, they have named it Kanye. And so that's very exciting.
I don't know what its name is. All I know is that Ashley and her mom texted back and forth about it sometime in the afternoon.
Yeah. So
there's they were hoping for a princess.
As is always the case with our radio show, we like to stay timely.
That's right.
So,
we base this segment off of whatever global news is popular.
That's right. And so today we'd like to discuss the greatest baby movie of all time.
Which is interesting. When we looked at this list, ladies and gentlemen, there are actually way more good baby movies than we realized.
And they're all from the late 80s.
Because in the 80s, people were having babies, dog.
What?
Why don't you first, though, start with a couple that were frightening?
Frightening?
Because there are a couple on this list that were scary.
There are. 1992 brought us The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
I did not like that movie.
That one was creepy. Do you know what was creepiest about that movie was that the nanny actually breastfed the kid?
Yeah.
And that weirded me out because it was
It
like...
should.
It was just... It weirded me out because it was this stranger... No, I mean,
It
think
made
about
me
it.
not feel good just when you said
a
it just now.
stranger.
I got a little sickness in my
Can
tummy.
you imagine if a stranger was breastfeeding one of your 12 kids?
No!
15.
No!
1968, Rosemary's Baby. Never cut a deal with the devil to have his child.
No, that one is actually terrifying in every way.
Seems like bad idea.
Another terrifying one, 1995's 9 Months. Mostly just because Hugh...
Yeah. That dude's a baby's dad.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
all right. 2007, Juno. Juno, that's a great one. And in the same vein as 2007's Juno, we've also got 2007's Knocked Up. Both of those kind of coming from the Judd Apatow crew.
I loved Knocked Up. It is more foul than it needed to be.
Yes.
But man, it rang true with a lot of relationshipal stuff.
Right. 1995 gave us Father of the Bride 2, one of the first of sequels that are better than the original. I mean,
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Father of the Bride 2 is way funnier than the first one.
I thought Father of the Bride was... but Father of the Bride's the classic, right?
That's the one
I
when
don't think it's one of the first ones.
Steve
though.
Martin.
Yeah, and the mother and the daughter are both pregnant at the same time, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, that one is funny.
It is funny.
I didn't watch that.
Hey, I know what I'm talking about.
I saw it.
2008, Baby Mama.
This one is for fans of The Peoples.
That's right.
I was so disappointed with that movie.
Really?
I was because
I'm disappointed with you that you saw
You
it.
saw that movie? You did see it, didn't you? You actually saw it.
No, I did see it.
What?
Listen, Tina Fey is my favorite
And it's
female
not just
comedian.
Tina Fey; it's Amy Poehler as well.
And, and I saw this coming out, and I said, these are two of the funniest women.
And they combined.
And then they had nothing to do with writing it. They was just in it, and they ruined it.
Yeah.
I feel like if those two had written this movie, it would have been good. And that's the impression I got. I was super disappointed.
Fair.
1988, Kevin Bacon. She's having a baby.
Famous.
And then, of course, here's an odd one, but it's on this list. Man, 1994. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jr.
I'm a pregnant man.
I'm going to have a baby.
That was such a weird movie.
Oh, it was great though. That was when he and Danny DeVito were on that kick, and they were
Twins.
They just done Twins. You know they're making a sequel to Twins called Triplets.
No!
For real, and they're gonna find out that
the
there's
medium?
They're gonna find out that
No.
there's a third one, and it's like Melissa McCarthy or something.
It's the medium.
Holy
person.
Moses!
know,
I
but
can only hope it
for
is
real-
Melissa
no,
McCarthy.
For real though, that's true.
Because think about this: fat like DeVito, tall and big like Schwarzenegger. She
Foul
actually
like both
is.
of them.
She's in the middle.
She's not old enough.
It's
No,
legit.
she's not. I don't think it's her. I can't remember who it is. But anyway, that's for real. So that brings us to the 3 greatest baby movies of all time.
Number 3.
Number 3, 1989. John Travolta and Kirstie Alley. Look who's talking.
Listen, this movie is so bad it's good for me. I didn't. You know what? This movie doesn't hold up. This isn't like something we're going to dust off anytime soon. But at the time, this thing was a phenomenon, and of the late 80s. This is what the late 80s and early 90s was in movies.
Yeah, right.
You know, this thing is everything that they were. So it's kind of genrefied.
By the way, I just looked up the third triplet is actually Eddie Murphy. So there you go.
I wish it was John C. Reilly.
Oh
No.
my-
Okay,
No,
number
no,
2.
It really is.
I know,
Oh.
I wasn't. I never joke about Eddie
Yes,
Murphy
you-
because he can ruin things. Number 2, Raising Arizona, 1987.
Now, we were talking about this film earlier.
I love him so much.
And the thing with Raising Arizona is you were talking about how it's not as funny as we remember,
He's an angel.
but
An angel straight from heaven.
it's as good as we remember it
Yes,
being.
it is.
Coen Brothers still hold up. That film is quirky and good.
But number 1, 1987, Tom Selleck, Ted Danson,
Yep.
No one puts baby in the corner.
3 Men and a Baby, Steve Guttenberg.
It
What's
is
he
the
up to
greatest.
now? That's the greatest baby movie of all time, 3 Men and a Baby. It's even in the title, Baby. Baby, yo, baby.
3 Men and a Baby was good.
Was great. It was the greatest baby movie of all time.
I feel as though that's true. And until next week, I'm Rob Alderman. I love movies.
I'm the Hollywood Slinky, and I love movies.
I'm AMC Mike, and I love movies.
I'm the Ken Dog, and I love movies.
Let's all love movies
together.
But let's not love Baby Mama.
I didn't.
How about Mama?
I was.
You were like,
That was creepy.
I'm Ken Dog, and I love movies. And I was like, no, you don't. You saw Baby Mama.
No one puts baby mama in
If
the corner.
I give you a written apology, will that make things better?
You post it to the Facebook page,
Yeah, you
maybe.
have to. I'm very sorry.
We'll see you guys next week.
Next week. We're out.
Take to the road. And I think that I've made up my mind. I think there are places that we need to go just to find. No one will miss us if we just go. Hey, now no one will know. Most days I'm begging for peace. The tension is mounting, the madness is getting to me. Love, I will never be still. I'll always be restless, I'll always have something to feel. No one will miss us if we just go. Hey, now no one will know.
You are listening to WOOP-LP, Cleveland, Tennessee. WOOP FM is a broadcasting service of the Traditional Music Resource Center, and we play America's original music.
Check into cash. Got the cash you need when you need it fast. We're your money machine. We'll make your wallet sing. Get on up and get down into cash. Ka-ching.
Short on cash? Visit Check Into Cash and get up to $425 cash advance until your next payday, even without a check. It's quick, easy, and confidential.
Money in your pocket so quick and easy. Get the cash you need confidentially.
Got a bank account but no checkbook? Not a problem with Check Into Cash. If you need money now, you can get our new payday loan even without a check. Get the money you need right now at Check Into Cash, your one-stop money shop.
Check Into Cash is your money machine. Get on up and get down into cash. Ka-ching.
Always use Payday Advance responsibly. Visit checkintocash.com for the store nearest you.
When you buy or sell or pawn,
You can't go wrong at U.S. Money Shops.
when money's tight, you'll be
Cause
alright.
relief's inside at U.S. Money Shops.
Hey, Glenn here from U.S. Money Shops. If you're looking for extra cash, whether it's $50, $500, or even $50,000, then U.S. Money Shops just may be the place for you. We're a pawn shop like no other. Buy, sell, pawn, we do it all.
Pawn with us,
We'll earn your trust.
sell to us, without any fuss. Buy from us.
You can rely on us.
U.S. Money Shops offers the best selection of electronics, tools, firearms, jewelry, and more. You name it, we got it. So when you need cash or want a deal, visit U.S. Money Shops, the best pawn shop in town. And remember, we cash all checks and buy gift cards. Now with several locations to serve you. Visit U.S. Money Shops today for the best deal around.
Buy or sell or pawn today. The better way at U.S. Money Shops.
Visit U.S. Money Shops.